Jason falls for a stick, my grandma died, I will strip for peanut butter. All of these are iconic moments on what I would consider as one of the best TV shows out there. So here is the guy who fell for a stick. Here's the guy whose grandma supposedly died. She didn't. And here are the girls who were craving peanut butter so bad they were willing to strip in the middle of an immunity challenge to get their food. Well, you may not be a Survivor superfan, but my dad and I are. We have watched Survivor throughout the years, and in the past month have seen over 20 seasons of Survivor. So how's the game work? It's a reality competition where contestants are dropped into a remote location with just the clothes on their back and the supplies producers deem necessary for that particular location and season. There's a huge incentive to suffer the rain, the storms, because every day they're out there, they get closer to the grand prize of $1 million. So contestants are initially divided into tribes who compete in challenges, either for reward, things like comfort, food, or trips out of camp, or immunity, the only way to guarantee their safety in the game. Well, what happens when you lose immunity? Your tribe is sent to tribal council, a place where contestants are forced to vote off one of their own tribe mates. Prior to tribal council, contestants plot and scheme about who they think they should vote off in order to further their own game. So the producers like to mix things up. They add things like tribe swaps, personal immunities, hidden immunity idols, and places like Exile Island, all to throw a wrench in the contestants' games. As numbers shrink, the two tribes merge into one tribe, where it shifts from more a tribe-based game to an even more individual game. And the real wrench in the game is that every person who's voted out after the merge becomes a jury member, and the jury member's job is to decide who gets the $1 million in the end. Well, if I haven't bored you with all those details, you are my type of person. My dad and I love to strategize alongside the contestants at home on our couch. We try to guess who's going to get voted off. We argue about who should have gotten voted off. We praise people when they make a good move, and we laugh when they make stupid decisions. Well, you may be wondering what the 3 initial moments had anything to do with the game of surviving the elements and surviving the people. Well, Jason falls for a stick. In season 16, Micronesia, there were clues to a hidden immunity idol on Exile Island. A prior contestant had already found the hidden immunity idol, but replaced it with a stick. Jason followed the clues and found what he thought to be was a hidden immunity idol. Turns out it was just a glorious stick. This was only pointed out to him when he brought it to another contestant, and she laughed and thought it was a stick. Later, it was confirmed it was a carved stick at tribal council when it was played. The dead grandma. This moment in Survivor Pearl Islands is number 1 on CBS's list of 18 all-time greatest Survivor moments from the best seasons. Well, John Dalton, in Survivor World, known as Johnny Fairplay, came up with a plan that if his friend made it to the loved one's visit, they would pretend that their grandma had died, so they would earn sympathy points from the other contestants. It worked like a charm. They let him win the reward challenge to spend time together because they needed to come to terms with his grandma's death. Well, this, among other devious moves, landed Johnny Fairplay in the Survivor Villain Hall of Fame. In Survivor Amazon, contestants were tasked with standing on poles, and whoever stood on the pole the longest won individual immunity. And the host announced that they would then give incentive for them to get off the poles. Well, the 2 girls joked that they would strip if they got peanut butter and chocolate. And the host came through. He brought out some peanut butter and chocolate, and I'm sure it put on quite the show for the guy standing next to them. Well, this show is entertaining and keeps me on the edge of my seat, but contestants often say that they come out a changed person. It may be cheesy, but Survivor does reflect many life lessons. First and foremost, interpersonal relationships are key. They are what contestants depend on and rely on to make it further in the game. They also are ultimately what decides who wins the $1 million with the jury. Well, no person has made it to the end without an alliance or a set of alliances. And in life, it isn't about what you know, rather who you know. It is about how you treat people, and not only does that impact their lives, it impacts your own. This game is a game of quick turns. In Survivor Cook Islands, Contestants were offered up mutiny, a chance to switch to the other tribe, and 2 contestants indeed did switch. This not only changed the numbers of the game, but it changed the dynamic of the tribe. Contestants were forced to kick and claw and fight their way to continue in the game. This is no different in life. Everyone has different hardships and are forced to adapt to the circumstances they are given. They are forced to keep fighting. Survivor proves to contestants that they are way stronger than they think. In fact, the Survivor longest challenge is 12 hours long. Contestants stood on a small buoy with a pole to hold on to. They stood there so long that the challenge only ended when they made a deal to step down. Not only are contestants stronger than they think, you are stronger than you think. If you put yourself in an I can do it attitude, success can come to you. Every survivor comes with a different set of skills. Some are city folk with a PhD, and some are country folk who live on the farm. Every winner has one thing in common, however. They played their own game. The Survivor motto is outwit, outplay, outlast, and everyone plays with a different combination of those things. Ozzy, one of the most well-known survivors for their physical strength and challenge abilities, played a very physical game, almost single-handedly making it to the end by winning immunity challenges. Yule and Rob Cesternino played a very strategy-heavy game. They planned out their every move. They planned out who they would talk to, who they would manipulate, and who they needed to vote off each and every tribal council. Parvati, she was a social butterfly. She talked to everyone and played a great social game. In her game, in the season she won, she led the Black Widow Brigade all the way to the end and ended up winning the game. Every contestant brings their own set of skills to the game, and every person brings their own set of skills to life. It is not only important to know what you are strong at, but also how to improve yourself. You need to improve yourself and to continue to grow. Embrace your strength and acknowledge your weaknesses. There may only be one winner on Survivor, but everyone can win at life. Now let me get back to my show.